There's a car on the low side. Clear inside.
I can see it. You can't hear me?
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh my gosh!
No way!
Oh!
No way did that just happen. Kyle, you're talking to everyone, bud.
Yikes!
Oh, no.
Yikes!
God.
Yikes!
No.
Oh man! Oh man!
So, Kyle Larson getting fired. Let me be first to say that I really have no words. Honestly, this is honestly something that I've been really trying to avoid talking about, but at the same time, it's being publicly, it's out there so much, you see it pretty much almost everywhere now, that honestly I think it's really hard to ignore talking about stuff like this. And I've even held myself, against talking about this whole thing, because unfortunately I can sort of relate to this in a way. Not just not just from that said word, but also, how it all, how like how this all began, basically. So anyway, I don't want to really, I mean, this video is unscripted anyway, just like most of my videos are, but I'm just gonna get straight to the point. I mean, I don't want to make this video too terribly long, but yet at the same time, I really do want to also get what I want to say across. So anyway, it was Sunday night, and I was just finishing up doing the racing league. We were starting up season 2 at Daytona, and I scored the win. So obviously, I'm working on the thumbnail, I'm working on the posts for other accounts and all that other good stuff. Then I saw the thing that's saying, "Oh, wait a minute, Landon Castle is hosting his Monza race tonight. I think I'll give that a watch." So randomly, yeah, I go onto Twitch. I view one of the drivers' live streams that's happening, and I scroll. I keep going back and forth with the broadcast and and the driver streams, because I kind of like to multitask in a way. So as that's going on, I think it was on the driver stream that I was at when this happened. So anyway, I heard, I saw the voice chat at the bottom. It said Kyle Larson clearly having problems with his mic, trying to see if he can communicate with another person. But then he said, "Hey," and then, quite arguably, one of the most offensive terms ever in existence, and here's the thing. I'm used to hearing this term, like, a lot. I really am. I am used to hearing this term on a very, very frequent basis, because I am from New York City, because we have a lot of let's just say we have a lot of diverse people in this community. So people of all kinds, you know, sometimes whenever I'm just like walking, you know, sometimes, you know, and this was also like really common, like, you know, you hear this almost all the, I was like, what was I gonna say? What was it? Back in high school, I was pretty much hearing this term almost every single day, and you know, I've tried my damnedest to avoid it, but they just but it just kept going on and on and on. I really didn't let it get to me, because if I tried to say something like that, then other people, other people would probably take offense to that, and you know, dire consequences, I'm sure, will result from that. But yeah, so Kyle Larson said that one term, and like out of all the other terms that you could have used, he chose that one. And as a result, as with the rest, as honestly with the rest of the world, I was shocked. As much, you know, as much as everybody else in the NASCAR community right now, I was shocked by this whole thing. I really was. Because that term has so much power under it. It has so much power that it could be used both with and against other people. And for, you know, literally for someone who is an Asian American, who literally is a NASCAR Drive for Diversity program driver, may I remind you, to use such a slang term, I mean, it's almost that's like completely uncharted territory. Now being the judge, now obviously being the judgeful person I sometimes tend to be, I mean, when he uploaded his apology video, I wasn't sure if I was gonna. I mean, it looked very sincere, if I'm being honest, but there was something in the back of my mind telling me, I don't know if he. I mean, there was something in the back of my mind telling me. I mean, because nowadays, like, you've seen so many apology videos, it really is hard to believe, you know, what you see sometimes, especially in this day and age. It's it really is hard to believe. But at the same at the same time, you also do have, I think honestly you do have to feel for this man, because he's literally been working his way up. He was working his way up the ranks, and in the early 2010s, I mean, I'm going to admit it, I was cheering him on in his Xfinity days, especially that race at Auto Club where he made that pass on, where he held off 2 Cup veterans. in Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch, and then the next day he shocked what I would say he shocked the world in a way, because with him on that last lap of him trying to go for the win against Kyle Busch. And I will also admit I was technically was kind of a fan of him in a way. I mean, I definitely rooted for him. 2016 Michigan, when he finally broke through and got that first win. 2017, his breakout year. And unfortunately, his 2018 season wasn't all that great. 2019, I got to see him win at Dover, which, ironically, just so happens what could quite possibly be his last win. But I'm not saying I'm not saying this is the end of Larson's career by any stretch of the imagination. Because I think Larson, I mean, I kind of see himself as a genuine human being, but for him to say something like that, obviously, I'm not all for that. And I think, honestly, the consequences that he got are rightfully deserved in any way, shape, or form that you could think about it. Fired from Chip Ganassi. NASCAR giving him sensitivity training. What else? Sensitivity training. Chevrolet terminating their sponsorship. McDonald's, Clover, Credit One Bank, all these big name sponsors gone. Ready to move on to the next guy in line. So yeah, this whole thing just ultimately has me in just utter shock and just disbelief. But in my really humble opinion, I mean, I don't know if this, I'm pretty sure this might be controversial in a way, but I feel like the firing of him from, basically letting go from his ride, Chip Ganassi letting him go from his ride just because of one slip up. To me, I feel like that is a bit of an overreaction. And I mean, everything else, I definitely can see why they would give him that consequence. But the firing thing from Chip Ganassi is just honestly just one thing I will just never understand unless Ganassi puts out another statement of, or at least some report or from some reliable source at least confirms that, okay, this guy definitely has history. Because Kyle Larson, he has been, unfortunately, at the forefront of situations like this before. I mean, I remember in a couple years ago, we called out Hendrick Motorsports saying that they're intentionally sandbagging, which then he soon apologized on that. I can't remember the other thing, but I can't remember the other thing, but basically Larson, in my humble opinion, he's one of those people who I think he thinks before he speaks before he thinks. And I can certainly relate to that in my own way, because before I was able to think. And not just that. This whole thing in general. This whole situation in general. I unfortunately can relate to that, because I've had my share of instances where I said things where I shouldn't have said, and it has led to dire consequences for myself. Take a look at what happened when I said something derogatory. Take a look at what happened when back when I had Twitter, and I said some mean things that ultimately got me banned from that site. Looking back now, I shouldn't have said that. And even if I could try to get back on Twitter if I wanted to. But the thing is, I really don't see a point in trying to do that, because first off, I'm in the same IP address. That's another thing I'd point out. And whenever I did try to get back on with other emails and everything, Twitter caught me. They caught me trying to evade suspension. So, unfortunately, that nail in the coffin has officially been cemented. Take another instance that I can relate to with the whole Larson incident. This past summer, the summer showdown, it wasn't just me that night. There were a couple of other people that I had. There were a couple of other people that were with me that night that kind of encouraged that type of behavior for me. And as a result, I was demoted from doing something very, very special. And I was sorry, dropped something real fast. Apologies for that. But I was removed from something that ultimately could have probably could have changed my life for the better, and finally get this, and finally get some traction going, not just for this channel, but my life in general, because these past couple of years have just been an absolute emotional roller coaster, for me. But if you watched my video titled why I'm not so happy anymore, you'd probably see that's where I'm talking about my mental health and all that stuff. So feel free to check that video out if you haven't already. But yeah, I can ultimately relate to this whole thing, to this whole Larson incident. Probably, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. You've had at least one situation before that has caused you to do something out of the ordinary. And if you have not experienced that, it's bound to happen at some point in your life. Whether you realize it or not, it's bound to happen. I think one thing though that we should probably take into consideration is how we handle that. Is how we handle the situation. And also one final factor that I think honestly, that makes a huge difference from all this is that how do I put this lightly? I think that iRacing, this is my humble opinion, but I think iRacing has officially crossed the line when it comes to I think iRacing has officially crossed the line in what they can and cannot show on a national scale. I mean, voice chatting to other drivers, and transmitting on all drivers, that's free game. But I think iRacing really needs to reconsider what they think should and should not be said. At least on a public scale, because if you're saying this stuff on, if you're saying this stuff privately, all that stuff, I'm not saying it's okay to do that, but yet at the same time, it's kind of just whatever at that point. But I just feel like iRacing just really needs to consider what they should and should not put out on national TV, because all these guys who put a lot of money, sponsors put a lot of dollars down to make these things happen. A lot of money. And that's unfortunately, I think, one of the sad parts about this generation, is that it's all about the money and nothing else. So, yeah. So, I think that's basically it. What I think on this whole thing. I really don't have that many other words to say. I'm in disbelief as much as you guys are, and I feel absolutely terrible for all you Larson fans out there who are subscribers of mine. I know the pain that you guys are going through right now. But I don't think this is the end for Larson. I don't think this is the end of Kyle Larson. We'll see we're gonna see what happens, in the coming days, coming weeks, and coming months, to see whether or not Kyle Larson is gonna come back into NASCAR. And that's another factor. And it's another factor you got to tie into this whole thing. This gives NASCAR a really bad representation, and saying stuff like this is it's apparently the worst thing it could do. But yet again, whenever fans are listening on scanners and whatnot, you're listening to the crew. You hear all these curses all the time. So yeah, I'm just shocked as much as the next guy, and like I said, I'm sure you guys are as well. But anyway, I don't want to keep this going on for too long, because I feel like if I keep talking, I'm probably gonna say the wrong thing. But anyway, that's pretty much it on this whole thing. If you guys want, and I'm not encouraging you guys to send any direct hate towards Larson at all, but really, I just want to know what your overall thoughts are, and what do you think is going to be the future for Kyle Larson in NASCAR? So, with that said, guys, that's I'm guessing that's about it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the Blue GB Revolution today. Also help us reach 2,000 subscribers. We're closing in on 2,000 subs. So, and we got a lot of new content coming up, especially in the coming months. I do promise you guys. I am gonna promise you guys that I am gonna be bringing back some old content. I've been sidetracked by college a little bit, so hope you guys understand. But anyway, make sure you guys tune in on Friday night for the Autism Awareness 400 Small Carbon 13's event from Kansas. But anyway, that's going to do it. This is your Angry Birds NASCAR fan, the Blue GB 48 fan here. And I am reminding you, always stay humble and kind.